Hey everybody, Brian Troe coming to you from Mossy Creek Fly Fishing with your fly fishing forecast. The date for today is Monday, October 27th. Looks like we've got some good rain coming in our forecast. Fingers crossed. Had a little bit last week. Couple half-inch rainstorms. Definitely helped out some. We need more. So it looks like a nice big storm. We're going to have cloudy, overcast days for the next few days, and then it looks like the heaviest rain's coming in Wednesday all the way into Thursday. They're calling for upwards of maybe 1.5 inches of rain. So that's going to do a lot for our fisheries right now. The state is out stocking, but they're pretty cautious about what they'll throw fish into, depending on water levels. If things are just too low, they'll hold off or do what they did last week, which is start stocking a lot of lakes that they have on their schedule. So if you all are familiar with the lay of the land here, to our west in the Alleghenies, we've got lakes all over the place. These were all built, a while back as flood control reservoirs, and they make for great recreation. So to our west, you've got Switzer Reservoir, you've got Hearthstone Lake, Briery Branch Lake, Todd Lake, Braley Pond, Union Springs Lake, Hone Quarry Pond. There's all kinds of lakes, and these lakes have warm water and cold water fish. All right, so you can fish them all year. This time of year, in some of those lakes, it can be pretty awesome, like Switzer, where there's brook trout in the lake and brown trout in the lake, and they will make their run up to the head of the lake. If the creeks are flowing in, they'll actually run up the creeks to spawn. If the creeks aren't flowing in because the water's low, they'll try and spawn up in the shallows at the head of the lake. So that's something you're looking for. If you have a canoe, have a kayak, a john boat, anything like that, you can get access to these bodies of water, and they can be a lot of fun. Beautiful up there right now with all the leaves changing color, and kind of an awesome time to go up and know that the fish are at least up near the surface, up in the water column. They're not 30, 40, 50 feet down below the thermocline. They will be once things get just a little bit colder. Speaking of cold, we've had several nights below freezing. It got down to the 20s here in the valley a couple times this past week. This whole week it's going to be 35 and raining like every night. So days and nights are definitely getting colder and colder. And so this is the time of year where things begin to switch, okay? So for those of you that trout fish in the summer months, perhaps on our freestone streams here in the valley that are a little marginal or get a little bit hot, you're targeting the coolest hours of the day and the coolest water temp hours. And you're also looking for springs and things like that. So you're trying to get out there in the morning, not only for your own comfort, but more importantly, for the better bite for the fish, for these trout. And you kind of avoid the heat of the day. And in the winter months, you're going to want to do the opposite. These fish are going to have their most active times are going to be at 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we are right on that tipping point there, that balancing point where it's going to kind of shift from the afternoons, from the mornings being better to like the afternoons being better. So kind of put that in the math a little bit. Once we have below freezing mornings every single day, or most days, you're not at a huge advantage for getting out there at 7:30 in the morning and getting after them nice and early. Doesn't hurt to try. You can definitely catch fish. I don't work in like definites, but you'll have more luck in the warmer hours. So kind of keep that in the math a little bit. Keep your eye on this weather. We get 1.5 inches of rain, good solid rain over 2 days. This weekend is going to be really, really good. That's really going to help bump stuff up. Remember, when we're low, rain doesn't just bring more cover, which obviously it does. The more cover it brings, the more comfortable they feel. But it brings oxygen, it brings cover, and it brings food. It literally brings everything that they need. And they'll take advantage of that right away. So again, on the trout front, just to reiterate, brook trout are spawning. We're kind of leaving those fish alone. We're leaving the fish up in the park alone. To the west in the Alleghenies, we've got all kinds of managed water, put and take streams delayed harvest streams. They still haven't opened North River delayed harvest yet for the season. We'll let you all know. But there are plenty of DHs that are open. Bat Creek is a fan favorite. That's been opened up now for a week or two. Passage Creek up near Front Royal is opened up. So those are the kinds of places you'll want to target. You also want to target your spring creeks, just because even with these really, really cold mornings, those streams are going to stay milder. The fish will be kind of more in their comfort range. So fishing streams like Mossy's still a little bit tough, a little slow. A lot of those browns are spawned up doing their thing. They're just not going to eat. If you go out to Mossy in the next week or two, don't be surprised if you find a random rainbow. There's not a lot of them in there, but there are some. They're just like squirrels right now. They're just stocking up on acorns, getting ready for the winter. So they don't spawn until the spring. And of course, there's plenty of juvenile fish, immature fish that are not spawned up that are going to be eaten like crazy. We're about a week or two away from those fish being done. I always kind of, in my mind, put November 10th down as, hey, this is kind of when those fish finish up and are really, really hungry. And will come off and just eat really, chase big bait. So fishing streamers, things like that can be quite good. So kind of have that. That's not too far off. Basically, we're fishing smaller nymphs, smaller streamers. When you're fishing the stock streams, you just don't want to go too big because the water levels are low. But if we get a bunch of rain this weekend, just start sizing up a little bit. You want to get down a little bit deeper, stay at the bottom in the drift longer, switch over to jig nymphs or tungsten nymphs once the water levels call for it. All right. With it being overcast, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of this week, fish your darker flies, blacks, browns, olives, underneath white overcast skies. That's going to put the right silhouette out there for you, and hopefully lead to some more fish caught. The musky fishing is pretty good. Still a little low, still a little spooky, still some leaves on the water, but we've had some good reports in the last few days. People fishing slow, putting in the work, lots of work, got to grind. Letting those flies get down deep, letting them hit the bottom. These are all techniques that are going to help you get some of those big apex predators that just don't eat every day. They don't eat every day because they don't need to. You eat a big old sucker and they're happy and they're full and they're satisfied. And, it might be a couple days before they really get out and start chasing stuff again. So anyway, a couple other things to go over real quick. Is we are excited to announce that we have our fall open house coming up. That's going to be on Saturday, November 8th, regular store hours, 10 to 5. We are very happy to have our good friend and fly fishing guru, George Daniels, with us. He's going to be giving several presentations throughout the day right here at the store. So you'll want to make sure you come and hear what this guy has to say. He's brilliant. He's helped a lot of anglers have a lot more success on the water. He's going to be doing a presentation on the evolution of fly fishing, like just how it's changed, especially just in the last few years, kind of where we came from and where we are now. So it's a very interesting look at just the sport, the techniques, how they've changed. He's going to be doing a presentation on streamer fishing, streamer tactics, and just make himself available. He's probably going to be tying flies. He'll be here that whole day to answer your questions, sign books, etc. So as always, the fall open house, always make my homemade chili, so there's going to be a ton of food here. There'll be beers, there'll be drinks, all of it's free. So come listen to George, pick up some good intel, have some food, meet a lot of local anglers, hang out with our guides. Our fishing guides will be here as well to answer questions, help you out with your cast, anything like that. And we have a lot of raffles, giveaways, and sales that day. So for those of you that live in Virginia Beach or Richmond or Northern Virginia, make a day of it, come down, hang out at the open house for a while, let it warm up out there, shoot out 20 minutes outside town, go catch some fish, and then maybe swing back by. Nice little Saturday. All right, I think that's it for now. We've got tying stuff pouring in every single day, putting away hairline and wapsie and all the good stuff. So kind of ramping up our tying department and our excitement about fly tying as things get a little bit cooler here. So if you guys need things, come on, stop by and say hi. See you all next week.